Good morning, boys and girls. One of the most stressful parts of owning an old car is passing smog. And luckily for me and my 1976 Celica, this car has always passed smog. If we could get the hood up. Something like popping the hood shouldn't be stressful, so let's fix that. Luckily for me, this cardboard doesn't conduct electricity. We have hood hinges. Check that out. Look how smooth that is. Not one, but two. Dang. I was gonna make these, but sometimes you have to treat yourself. One of my fixes, as you can see here, was just to drill out the old pins because I'd broken and weld the loops back on. Unfortunately, they're really bent. I could basically make a jig off of this to make this straight. So we can do that, but these are really nice. So we're gonna keep this. What I'm gonna try to do is just replace one at a time, right? That way I don't have to take off the hood and I won't need anyone else's help. And I'm doing this side first because we have the hood support here, so I can just have it on one hinge and it won't go all crazy. Check out this corner light just hanging out. Not a lot of room to grab those bottom ones. We need flex head gear wrench. I'm just gonna call this the worst one ever. Okay, we're gonna do a terrible comparison. Check that out. I could probably make a jig off of this and straighten these hood hinges. Hard to know how much to bend since I didn't have any reference to go by. Let's put these in. Okay, a little bit of binding just because this hinge is so tweaked and bent. It already opens and closes smoother. Maybe I just need to install one. We're gonna install both. Moment of truth. Opens and closes amazing. But we need to align it. I could literally be here for 5 hours just trying to align this thing, but fine tune it later. What matters is, oh shit. So good job. I wanted to align the fender with the hood, but I didn't even think about it. I had this flush. Then I opened the door and I smushed it. Trust me, guys. I'm really trying to just smog this car. But I keep getting distracted. Let's use some tools incorrectly. Okay, just gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with this gap. Gotta redo the support underneath to get the right curvature. But this opens up really nice. And since we like it, we're just gonna make sure everything is snug. I leaned on the fender. Now that we can open the hood, we can take off these headers and try to pass smog. All right, easy way to fail visual is these headers. Even though they have EGR ports, still not gonna pass. So these look like 14s. I leaned on the fender again. Dropped a nut. That's gone forever. And I dropped a bunch of washers. We gotta take off actual downpipe. Hopefully this car is high enough to where I don't even have to lift it. Oh, all right. So okay, here are the headers in the car. I was gonna say they're real heavy duty, right? They're real heavy. They have EGR pipes. Look at that, this gasket came off. Answered my own question. So why we need those top ports? Because on the stock exhaust manifold, they have these ports at the top and they tee off to where you can probably put an EGR for. Okay, seems to be this factory service manual is for an 18RC or whatever, 8R, whatever comes with the intake and exhaust on the same side. So I'm just gonna freeball this. How hard could it be? And it does have studs. We're just gonna clean up this carbon just so the gasket has a clean surface to sit on. Sure, we'll put this fresh one on the head. This one has indentation from the actual headers, so we'll put that one there. As long as this mating surface is pretty flat, I'm not too worried about it. Okay. Got some rust spots on this manifold. Don't do this. Don't do that. But do this. Okay. Hard to line up. Okay. And I should probably clean these little, just because there's rust. And I need that gasket to sit on a good surface. Let's line this up again. Oh, damn. First try. Cool. From the center out. Okay, as I was looking for torque specs for the exhaust manifold, I found the diagram. EGR valve 11. Exhaust manifold bolts 35. Inside to outside. Plus or minus 5 pounds on this Harbor Freight. One or two things. This is stripping or the stud is pulling out. We're just going to leave it. Hopefully it doesn't leak. And then we're going to hook up the bottom. Semi cleaned it up. It goes this way. There's a slot on the back section so it can go around. And these guys have to make a sealing surface on this. Okay, previous owner did say it's a pain to do this. And I thought, oh, how hard could it be? Kind of a pain. I was like, oh, this is easy. We're just going to snug these. Careful when dropping tools in this area because there's the starter there and my battery's still hooked up. Found this in the box of stuff. Okay, so this diagram makes sense now. This hose goes from here to the EGR valve, or I guess the air pump. And right now would be a good time to check if that exhaust manifold's leaking and check if any part of the exhaust is leaking. Let's clean up our mess and let's start it up. There's the fender again. Good job, guys. Thanks for reminding me about the fender. Prime the carb, choose a key, crank it. Listen to it run on 4 cylinders. Why is it running on 4 cylinders? Because we took this off and we didn't put it back. Definitely an exhaust leak on that lower part. Up here I think we're fine. Okay, so what did we learn? We learned how to waste a lot of time. Should have double checked that gasket. So redid all the gaskets. Let's see if it leaks. Definitely some chassis flex, as my car door won't open when it's jacked up. Definitely. If it sounds terrible, there's an exhaust leak. Door opens now. Okay. Give it a little gas. Give it a little crank. That sounds better. It doesn't sound like a big exhaust leak. Yeah, it sounds like a regular car. Here we go. Final form. Should be no exhaust leak. We did some unconventional methods to seal it. No leak. No leak. I'm gonna have to button this up. Next video you'll see is this car getting smogged, hopefully passing.